They will do what they want to do. And if you are not on the inside, you might end up being subject to the corruption. This is why you don't want to get too close to it. Don't fly too close to the sun unless you happen to be with the right people, if everybody understands what I'm saying. This is part of the game, okay? So this shouldn't be new to any of you. And again, I'm not even mad at it. I'm not mad at it because Trump's going to do it for his people, and Biden is doing it for his people. And by the way, this happens in government every day. This is just the thing we're talking about. But this happens every day in government. This is just the thing that we know about. There's a whole bunch of things that go on that if I was a person who like studied what happened in DC politics, there'd be a ton of things to talk about that most of you wouldn't know anything about because it doesn't make it to the mainstream. Like, I'm usually talking about things that most of you have an opinion on because we know about it. But this thing's happening in government every single day. And when we get to talking about Trump's cabinet appointments, I know many of you have asked me to talk about that. I'm going to just go down the list once we get clear on who these people are, each person's going to be, because you get people dropping out and coming in, et cetera. When we get to talking about that, and again, I got to be careful talking around that topic with certain names and stuff, because I was mentioning some names like last week or a week before that, and TikTok was like, be careful. So I got to be careful how I talk about those. But when we get to talking about that, those people are talking about a lot of things that are reflective of that, of the internal corruption that happens in the government, period, on either side of the aisle. And again, when they come in, because they're with Trump, people are going to call them corrupt. And when they'll come in, they're going to say, well, the government itself is corrupt, and you got all this back and forth. And this is just the way they keep people occupied, people like us, occupied and distracted from what's really going on. And it might not even be the real game that's happening. But let's move on, because there's a whole other side to this conversation that we need to talk about that not many are talking about. And there's a reason why many people are not talking about it, but I'm going to bring it up right here. 1989. In 1989, this video is on social media. Y'all can find it. You might have seen it on TikTok or X if you are an active user. Joe Biden was standing in front of, looked like he was standing in Congress. I don't know whether he was in the Senate or he was in the House of Representatives, doesn't matter.